here. So I just want to recap my last week's Fab Fit Friday because I was very proud of myself. Remember I said I was going to try the sleeve I drafted last week, and I did draft it. I mean, I did try it, and I just want to show you. I think it's a good sleeve. Of course, I tried it with silk charmeuse because I had this ratty. This is not a nice piece of fabric. It has some stains on it, and I had to make this weird seam to fit it because it wasn't wide enough. But my only thing was I wanted to try the sleeve, and I'm pretty pleased with how they look. I mean, there's some ripply stuff going on, but I think that's the silk and maybe the way I sewed it. But I'm going to try it out of something more user-friendly now that I know I'm close, maybe to make it as a top. But I just wanted to show you guys I did try the sleeve I drafted, and I sewed it in this lovely, yucky silk charmeuse. So there you go. Buy a sleeve, buy a top.
Buy a sleeve, buy a top. Wow, fancy.
Yes, so I'll work more on that later. But anyway, yeah, so I wanted Saremy to come on primarily because she's doing a very cool thing on her channel. She's doing a series called Fitopedia.
Nope.
She's doing a very cool series called Fitopedia, like encyclopedia for fitting. And in my head, I think it's Fitopia, so I keep saying that. So that's a boo-boo. It's Fitopedia, and she's showing you how to fit each aspect of the garment. So I want her to talk about that and share some things about that because it's very, very cool. And then we can do questions and we can, see where this takes us now that you can hear me and you can hear Saremy. And so, yay. All right.
Audio is such a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I imagine most of you know me. I kind of started off by live streaming on YouTube about 5 years ago. I don't fit a lot on my channel. I'm not a huge believer and you have to fit everything. And I try and make something more approachable that way. But I know how to fit. I went to design school. I've worked in the garment industry. I've done a lot of that. And I do fit things. It's not like I'm against it. And I finally decided to tackle it on my channel. And I'm kind of doing it in my own style. And one of the reasons why I never really tackled it is that I do fitting a little differently than people do in the home sewing world. And I just didn't really want to muddy up the waters with the way I do things, especially because the way I do things is I feel like it's a little more casual, I would say in some ways, because we don't do a lot of the fancy slicing and dicing that you see in home sewing in the garment industry. It's a little more, it's a little different. And so I'm trying to blend these two kind of worlds because I don't really want to change the way people are fitting. I'm not here to reinvent anything. A lot of these fitting techniques have been around for a long, long time. There's nothing really that new being invented about it. But I am trying to give you guys some context on what's happening and why that happens. I really understand pattern drafting really well. That's kind of my strong suit. And I'm kind of blending both the way they do it in the home sewing world and the way I do it. And you're going to see a lot more about the way I do it probably in the coming months because now I feel like getting my fitting legs under me for all of you guys, how I do things, you're going to see a little bit more. And so I came out with a bunch of videos. I started with the back. So I'm doing it in sections. My first section is all about the back. And I made all the videos available on YouTube so anyone can watch those. I have a companion PDF. That's the only thing I'm selling to go with it. And they're just kind of, like I said, it's a companion. And so I think I launched, I think it was 19 videos in October for Fitopedia, 2 of which are, one is the introduction, so you can kind of see what I'm about and what my intention is with this and my philosophy about it. And the other thing is just a drafting basics thing, like 4 or 5 things. I'm going to be saying this a billion times during this. So here, I'm just going to say it once here as a little referral. And of course I explain it in the videos. And then I think one of the few things that I'm doing that's a little differently is I'm giving every single armhole style. So often you might not be fitting a garment with a set-in sleeve. You might be fitting a cut-on sleeve, which is really popular in the home sewing world, is cut-on sleeves. So I give you that option. And same with raglan, princess seams to armhole, princess seam to the shoulder, and yokes. And so those are kind of the like 5 pattern styles that get affected with these different changes. And then I also give you options if the pattern is on the fold, if you want to keep it on the fold, or if there's a center back seam. And then there's something else I do. I can't remember what the thing is, but that is all referenced that way, and it's very clear. So yeah, so far it's the back is out. I'm working on neck and shoulders next, and that's coming out. I'm not sure when that's coming out. Honestly, with the holidays and stuff, I'm not going to be pushing fitting stuff on you guys because I'm sure you're all knitting gloves and stuff like that for Christmas gifts. So. So yeah, that's a little bit about Fitopedia so far.
So I like the fact that you're coming at it from a slightly different, angle or vantage point or experience because everybody learns differently. I
Yep.
do a lot of fitting on my channel and, sometimes I'm sure there's going to be something that somebody's going to watch and they're going to be like, yeah, I really didn't get that. And then they might see it on your channel and they're like, oh, that makes sense to me now, or whatever that is. So I think that's very cool that you're, coming at it from a little bit of a different, point of view because that might make it click
Yeah.
for people. So I think that's very cool.
Yeah. There's so many ways to do the exact same thing. And I think like my philosophy is like you're either pushing it or pulling it. Like you're trying to get rid of wrinkles or you're trying to create space. And you just need to know what to do with that. That's all you're trying to figure out is like, well, where do I put this? I've pinched it. Where can I put this now? And I think I like experimenting a lot, and I do a lot of that. And so I think this is such a great way to be like, okay, I've shown you this way to do it, but if maybe you don't want a shoulder dart, here I'm going to give you this other method. This one may work better for what you're doing. So I think for some that seems overwhelming. There's too many options. I just want a really clear cut answer. And I think that's another reason why I've shied away from teaching fitting because I feel a lot more casual about it than a lot of people. I think it's just, I said this earlier today because I had a skill building session with my guild this morning. And it's coincidentally, I set these up for the whole year. And this month was evaluating fit, just like if you make something and you have it in front of you, what are the first steps you do to evaluate? I think one thing that I figured out recently that I haven't been able to put words to, because I haven't been in the home sewing world for very long. I've been sewing since I was in high school. I went to design school right out of high school. I worked in the garment industry, but I've never worked in the home sewing world. So I'm kind of just figuring out how things are done here. And one thing I feel like right now, this era of home sewing is hyper focused on fit right now. And I also feel like people feel like it's tied to you being construed as a good sewer if your thing fits or not. And I hate that. I really hate that there's this added weight to it where people might not think that I'm doing a good job because it doesn't fit great. It doesn't matter. I know it's easy to say it doesn't matter what people think, but I don't feel that way. I never look at someone sewing and go, well, if only it fit good, maybe it'd be worth it. I don't ever think that. I think if you're comfortable, that's really all that matters. If you get what you want out of it.
Comfort is the thing. I've moved away from perfect fit to comfortable fit as well because let's face it, you could make something fit beautifully, but the minute you move, you're going to create a wrinkle, and that's not just in pants. A shirt or tops and things like that. So I try to focus on, is it comfortable to wear? Does it stand your shoulders properly? I think that's an important thing. But other than that, it's, I think sewers tend to, really scrutinize and overfit themselves. And then they go into their closet and they put on a ready-to-wear top that doesn't fit well at all. But because it has a fancy label or a brand that they love wearing it and they think they look amazing, which they probably do. But maybe something they made in their closet fits better than that. But because they bought it in a store, I think you get rose-colored glasses and you think, oh, this is wonderful. So if you could feel that way about your sewing, then you would be, you know what I'm saying? I think there's that disconnect between how ready-to-wear fits versus how when we sew for ourselves, we're so critical.
Yeah. I just don't. I don't. I was talking about it today. I was just saying like, I don't even remember thinking about fit the way people think about fit right now, or how I think about fit right now.
No.
And it's not that I was less self-conscious when I was a teenager. Heck no.
No.
I was, but I think like the impetus and the of why I wanted something to look a certain way has changed over the years for sure. But I really never looked at fit as something to like. If I when I set out to cut and sew something, I liked it or I didn't like it. It took a while for that really to kick in, where I was really preventatively doing things before I sewed the garment, and it was out of comfort. Like I think comfort was my biggest drive. You know, I mean, there's definitely a lot of years there, you guys, where I was like, oh, this skirt needs to be shorter and a little bit tighter fitting, right? I mean, we have that era of our life too. I'm not that in that space anymore. So that's a different fit as well. So it's just,
Yeah. So
don't,
Cheryl,
don't fit too much.
Cheryl came in and she just stopped in and she wanted to know the topic. And before I could break in and tell her the topic, I think she got the topic. And then, she is commenting she does want her things to fit right, and she stopped sewing because she couldn't. So we're not saying we don't want things to fit. We do.
No, not at all.
We definitely want to help you guys fit your clothes.
Yeah.
We just want, I think for me, I want people to be gentle with themselves. So
Yeah.
you get things to fit, and you get them to be, so when you look in the mirror, you're happy with it, it's comfortable. And my whole thing is I try to break down complicated adjustments into something that's simple.
Yeah.
So it's easier to do. And I know Saremy has a similar thing where she really because she understands the whole scope of it, she can break it down into something that's more user friendly in terms of the actual adjustment to do. And also, like she said, she's explaining why you might need an adjustment, which is another important part of it too, right?
Yeah, I think like when I try and look at just my own, what I've put out there for Fitopedia, I look at it and I think, what if I didn't know a whole lot about fitting or drafting, which most people look at it and they're just like, oh my God, what do I pick? Like, which one of these things? Just tell me what to pick and do. And I think that's completely understandable, because you look at it and you're like, yeah, that's what I need, that's what I need, that's what I need. And then you go to the next one, you're like, oh, wait, no, that's what I need, that's what I need. I think you could need one or the other, and either could solve your issue. You don't have to pick the perfect fit solution sometimes. You can just try and pinch the fabric or cut it and let it relax and see what it wants to do, and be a little more casual about it. Like, just don't fret that you're going to do the wrong thing to it. You're always going to be learning about something, and as long as you're being proactive, something's going to come out of that. And that's also why I go, when I'm showing, I'm like, well, why didn't I do this? Well, I could do this, actually. It'd be fine to do this. Or why didn't I do this? Oh, well, because I wanted to keep my center back on the fold. That's why I can't do that adjustment there. And this is why. This is what happens when I do that, and why it's not on the fold anymore. And I think when you start kind of putting those little puzzle pieces together, what impacts what seam and what impacts your garment, you have more context. You can kind of go, oh, wait. This is going to affect the sleeve. Do I even want to go down that rabbit hole? Do I really need this change to affect the sleeve? Can I kind of stay away from that area? I like that thing right there. Like that kind of thing. And don't fit a lot. Just fit a little bit. Try it on, and then see what happens.
I like to test wear. I like to put it on, see how it's feeling, and then really taking it out and running around do some errands with it, see how it feels when you're wearing it. And that's when I really can fine tune what I really need to do to get it to fit the way I want. A lot of times it's not obvious until you're wearing it to see, gee, is it sitting on my shoulders right, or is it whatever? So,
and our bodies change throughout the day, throughout the month, throughout the year.
So Cheryl, so I recently did forward ball of shoulder versus forward neck, and that brought on a lot of comments about, ooh, I think I have both. And Cheryl is saying, she knows she has forward ball of shoulder joint, but I also think I have a forward neck. I also have a little bit of a bump in the back of my neck, which makes, the things I wear fall back. So that's an interesting cluster of things going on. And sometimes it is true that you have everything that's forward and you need to lengthen everything in the back and shorten everything in the front to get it to sit right. But I did find that very interesting that I got a lot of, oh, I think I have both. I was trying to compare and contrast them because it's on either end of the shoulder seam. But it got to be a really cool thing to watch in the comments, like how people felt that they may have both.
Well, and I think accepting that, because one of the places I want to come from with fitting is just because you need a round back adjustment, it doesn't mean you have a rounded back. It doesn't matter. This is the one thing that really struck me big was when I came to home sewing, where it was all the titles of the fitting solutions. I'd never heard those before. Mm-hmm. And I was like, rounded back? Like, what does that mean? That the pattern is too rounded or the person is too rounded? Like, I was so confused. I'd been doing this for, almost 30 years and I'd never heard that term before. And I think that separating out that the pattern is drafted for maybe a flatter back, it doesn't mean you have a rounded back. You just need more of a rounded back than the pattern gave you. And it's not a personal thing sometimes. Sometimes it is. Yeah, you might know your shoulder's always forward, but then you might come across that pattern company where you don't have to make that adjustment. And you're like, well, do I have a forward shoulder? No, that pattern just fits you. And maybe that designer, because I'm always saying, if you want to see how clothes fit, look at the owner of the company. Most likely the patterns fit that person perfectly, because that's usually, and same with ready to wear. Mm-hmm. And I've worked every single company and manufacturer I worked, the owner was the size medium.
Well,
let me tell you how problematic that is.
Well, I struggle against that in my pattern line. And I have to say, I'm pretty proud of myself. Every time I come up with a new pattern, I have to fit it to me, because if I made things that fit me, the linebacker girl, they wouldn't fit only a very small percentage. So I'm always striving to make a middle of the road sort of woman shape with curves, but not me, because that would be a nightmare for everybody else. So, but that is true. That is true. You look at who the designer is, and it's very hard not to do that. It's very hard. So
I had a hard time naming my adjustments the same things. I didn't really want to do that, but like I said, I don't want to muddy the waters. I really hate how people are just like, I'm going to reinvent this, and they rename everything, like their sizes are letters A, B, C, D, and you're like, okay, that's great. I appreciate this, that we're trying to disassociate from conventional standard stuff that's been sort of, emotionally harmful to us. At the same time, if I have to sit there and do a half hour of research to figure out how to interact with this, how is that serving me? Because then I feel a little bit already like I've done a lot of work, brain work, to even start what I want to start with this, whatever I'm engaging with, and so that's why I kind of kept those labels, because more people are familiar with them than I was. And so, why not? And like I say, I stress, doesn't mean you have a rounded back. If you're really self-conscious, you're like, I don't have prominent shoulder blades. It's okay.
Yeah, it's a
pattern needs that.
That's I think most fitting adjustment names are cringeworthy, because, how many times can I say, oh, do you have a big butt? You have a prominent butt. You have prominent this. You have prominent that. And it's very cringeworthy for me to say those terms. Exactly. So it's like, and we just have to remember, it's the pattern's job to fit us. It's not our job to fit the pattern. So, Saremy and I and others are just trying to give tools to help you, get the pattern to fit you, because you're wonderful, right? Like, you should love your shape.
Things to fit.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah, don't fit like 6 things. Just do a couple things, and then the next time you make it, you'll fix a couple more because you've worn it a lot. I just don't think you have to walk around in tailored things unless you want to,
Yep.
It's a lot of work.
Are you getting any comments you want to share?
Oh, I mean, well, some of them are chatting each other, getting each other caught up, but someone said another thing that I like about seeing all the different fitting advice is seeing that there are other bodies like mine, other bodies that have the same fitting troubles. And I agree with that. I think like normalizing, just
Mm-hmm.
seeing all the different bodies is great. Um, and Eliza said, I like the comment about looking for the change I need. Pants, especially, I look for pics online that look like my problem. Yeah, totally. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And someone said, yeah, in the old Vogue sewing book, they call a rounded back a dowager's hump. Yeah. No, that is not that long ago. And
No.
we were calling it that.
Oh my
I
goodness.
literally heard that term last year. So, yeah, it's that. And I've seen that, yeah, the pigeon chest and like whatever. I don't have any problem saying I have a pigeon chest if I do. Pigeons, have their place, right? But it's a
Yeah,
very emotional topic.
it is.
So,
Ma-
yeah.
Mary says, oh, so true, especially full bust designers. And then she said, not you, Jen. But another one, I have B little ladies and just didn't need the neckline that showed cleavage. Not everyone wants to see that. And then Debbie says, I think overfitting is a natural progression to learning fitting. And then you realize that's good enough, or good enough is good enough, and you go back to enjoying sewing. And,
Yeah.
I think, Debbie, that's exactly what happened in my experiences. I went hyper fitting. Like, I wanted to make smooth glass fitting pants on me. I even went to
Yeah.
my friend Eric and we spent all day trying to fix my personal pants pattern. And I left with it in the same shape as when I brought it there because there was nothing else to do. And
Yeah.
I had this aha moment where I'm like, all right, these are not embarrassing and they're comfortable and they stay up. They're good enough. There's going to be wrinkles, and I'm happy now. So I've
Yeah.
cut back a lot of the things I was putting on myself in my own
Yeah.
sewing. So that's a really good point. Oh, Rachel's agreeing with her. So that's kind of cool. And she's saying better than you can buy in a store. That's so true.
Yeah.
So I think that's a very good insight into this.
Yeah, and I do think like I feel like right now, and maybe it's just the people I'm interacting with in the home sewing space. I don't see a lot of but I want to look like the person in the picture. But was chronic all my life, right? You get your catalog in the mail because catalogs were how we shop for clothes for a long time, and you ordered that thing because you wanted to look like the person in the picture, and you realize, why am I trying to look like this person who is 6'5" and doesn't have boobs or hips? Like, I am not. I'm a foot shorter and a foot wider. So why would I
Yep.
expect to look like this person? And it didn't mean that I didn't try, right? And and like I said, maybe I'm just not encountering that in home sewing space. I don't see a lot of that talk, which is really great. I'm really happy about that, because when I fit things and I'm starting to look at it, sometimes I start wanting to change so much that I'm like, all right, Saremy, we're kind of getting away from what this pattern was supposed to look like.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I just don't like this style, or maybe I don't like the style on me. It could be either of those, right? And you just start realizing, oh, am I really wanting to go down this rabbit hole? Maybe I should just pick a different pattern if I want all these changes, because
Yep.
we've left the realm of fitting and we're going into redesigning. And I think
That's
that's
a
very easy to do.
very good point. That's a very good point because, like, if you see how it fits on the envelope, and I will say I'm very happy to see a more broad range of size models
Yeah.
on patterns and sizing, and more inclusivity in the sizing, which I think is amazing. But then if you're looking at how it fits on the cover and you see what it's doing on you, and like Sarah May said, you're trying to change the actual style of it. You're not fitting anymore. You're like, and you can do that's not wrong. If you want to do that, you can
No,
do
not
that, but it's
wrong.
just a
Yeah.
lot of work. So
Mhm.
maybe taking the time to really look at the design of the garment, take a minute to look at the line drawings to see where the seams are and to see if they're going to be in proportion or if it's going to work with your shape. Because not every pattern style is going to look flattering on every shape. That was a hard one for me to learn because I wanted to
Yeah.
be
There's that.
I
Or
wanted
it's
to,
just that you crave something different when you start making
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Oh,
I've wanted certain things and I've made them and I've been like, oh my goodness, like that's not my style. Like I wanted to make a jean jacket and I literally got to the point of almost a complete muslin with top stitching and everything. I'm looking at myself in the mirror in it. I'm like, this is not attractive on me. Like this is not a thing for you.
not
I
your
understand that
style.
they're in everybody else's closet, but not working for my shape. So, I
But
had
if you like it, I think if you like it and
right.
you want to wear it,
Well,
wear
no,
it
no, no.
anyway.
That's exactly
You
right.
know?
That's exactly no, but it wasn't. It was doing nothing for me. Like
Yeah.
literally, I was like, that was just an example of something that I was trying to make for myself, and I'm like, yeah, no, that's not. So
I had a video gig the other day. Like people will hire me to record their how-to videos. May have seen my hands in a video before. And I liked the design a lot. As soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, this is just definitely not my style. I love it. I've always wanted to wear this style. I will look 10 months pregnant in this. And I just not, oh, sorry, I whacked the microphone. I'm just not really interested in looking. Like some people, that's fine. They don't mind this look. I don't like it on me, right? I'm already very curvy as far as like Rubenesque style, right? So I made the garment for the video, and the person's out of the country, so they just let me keep the garment. And I happened to be going to my mom's a couple days later, and so I wore it over for dinner. And my mom said nothing about my dress, like nothing. Didn't say a word like, "Oh, did you make something new?" or didn't say anything. And I was like, "Well, I guess she doesn't need to say like that's speaking a lot." I loved it. I just want you all to know that I didn't care. It was very high waisted. And when things are really high waisted, I feel like a parade float. Like I love like high waisted things, but when it's like cutting across the bust line, I feel parade floatish. Like I feel like I have to like hold the dress so it doesn't bump into things. And so I was like, I love this thing. I made it in flannel. I was like, I kind of am liking the idea of a flannel dress. This sounds so cozy at home. I just want you guys to know the flannel, beautiful flannel. I just I love everything about this thing. But then I went to my mom's, like, and my mom is super sweet, you guys. She's amazing. Like I love my mom, but I was like, wow. She said nothing. So I didn't bring it up, but I cut it into a top of the following week, and I've been wearing it as a top. But still, I'm kind of like, I don't know. And it's kind of like it's a low risk project for me, right? I don't. It was a job. I just needed to record the videos. But it's fun to be able to experiment and try and make it work for me, and I want all that beautiful flannel back, but I can always order it again, pay for it for myself. So, but it is kind of funny some of the things you get into, and you're like, okay,
yeah.
not this time. So
I'm getting a
yeah,
lot of agreement in comments. Porta says that, she feels like this is where she is now because she all of a sudden sees how garments aren't fitting perfectly and you want to fix them, and it's good to hear that you can let it be as, good enough. And then Mary makes a really good point. If you fuss and fuss and fuss over something, by the time you finish it, you don't want to look at it anymore, right? So she said
so
she
true.
fusses on things and she has to put them away and then she takes them out
Yeah,
later and she loves them. She needs a little break. And then Rachel says, I think for me, it's about getting to decide for ourselves what looks good on us and being able versus being prescribed the right choice, like whatever
yep,
the trend is, which I agree with that too. Like, I don't follow trends. I wear what I like, and even if
yeah,
it's not in
yeah,
style. So I think that's
yeah.
also a very good point.
Yeah, like I love this dress. Like it's beautiful. The pattern's probably gonna sell well too because it's really cute. I just felt like, okay, I made a flannel dress. I know those two words don't go together very often. I promise it was pretty, but it was so far away from the body that I was like, it's drafty and it's a flannel dress.
It's
So I thought maybe
drafty.
I didn't do the best. I didn't do the justice by this dress. So you'll see the pictures eventually because when they release the pattern, I'll release my picture. It's not a dress anymore, by the way, but just don't tell anybody.
We
It's
won't
a top
we
now.
won't tell anybody, Sarah. It's a secret just between all of
Yeah.
us.
Oh, I
Um,
love I should just order that fabric again because I really liked it. But yeah, I think just it's hard to know,
it
you know.
is. You know,
And I also wanted to say early in my channel, when I first started live streaming, I didn't even own any home sewing patterns. Like I owned like one or two because I just drafted my own patterns for me. And I just did that all the time. And I often would live stream a whole project, just doing whatever I wanted. You have to understand, like my whole thing of live streaming came from the gaming world. And, in gaming, you just do whatever you want and people hang out with you. It didn't end up sticking like that in home sewing. I realized that it wasn't my job to create how-to tutorials when I was sewing, but it was helpful and I wanted to be helpful. That's why I started live streaming. But I was changing these home sew patterns so much. I was doing nobody any help with these because they would be like, well, this isn't even how the pattern is. I'm like, I'm so sorry. And that's my example of like, I would sit there and be like, I'm going to make this. And then I would just, hack it within an inch of its life. By the time it was done, it didn't resemble, the video was no help, or live stream was no help, So,
whew.
yeah, I don't do that as much now. I just do separate live streams for designing stuff. So
I go off on an edge sometimes during my Fab Fit Fridays are more about what I'm working on. I'm trying to, share things that are helpful as well. But sometimes I'll go down a rabbit hole that doesn't work, or I'll work on something and then I have to regroup the next week, or, that's my time to just play and,
yeah,
like that bias sleeve. I didn't know if that was going to fit, right? And yay, it fits ish. I think
yeah,
if it looks better on me than it does on my ditto form. But,
yeah.
but I mean, that's the thing. Like, you can play and you can, like when I rubbed off one of my mom's dresses, and this is reminding me of your flannel dress because I made it out of double gauze. And
Oh,
it
double
had a
wash.
yoke, and then it had a tier and a tier and a tier. Well, I thought more is more, right? So I added more gathers.
I saw these
I
pictures.
put it on my mom, and the dress literally swallowed her up. So I had to do a Fab Fit Friday. Okay, let's take all this back in. So when I make the next one, the dress won't be wearing her, because that's what happened.
Yeah.
And Janie says that's why I like Fab Fit Friday. Like, if you ever want to feel good about your sewing skills, come and watch me on Fab Fit Friday. I'm bound to make at least one mistake. One time. One time I was putting binding on something and it was going so terribly wrong, and I knew if I didn't fix it, I would throw it in the garbage when I got off, so I literally spent a half an hour picking it back out so I could show how to do it right.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's, I mean...
Oh yeah, it's just things go sideways usually. The first, I'm like so geared up, ready for my live stream, and I'm seam ripping within the first 5 minutes. Just ask anybody in my chat. So yeah.
Diane sent me seam rippers one time because I was going in I couldn't find them, so literally now she sent me some of these, and then I got some other ones. I have like 10 seam rippers now, so I always have one at the Quick because we need these.
That's hilarious.
I know.
Seam rippers are my favorite tool, though. Mine's sitting right here.
See?
I love my seam ripper.
That's a good one. The Clover one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like the chunky handled ones.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go back to Fitopedia.
Okay.
Because I think you told me I think what you guys should do is definitely head over to Saramy's channel. If you're watching my channel, watching this, definitely go over there and check her out. You can watch all the videos, and then if you want to get the companion PDF, she's going to give you a special coupon code.
I have a 10% off code. It's I have to read it. It's Stern10.
Stern10.
Stern10 on
Stern
my website.
10.
My website's so.live, and but you can, if you want, you can go to my channel, and if there's not a Fitopedia video, like easy to find, in the playlist there's a Fitopedia playlist. Watch a few of the videos, see what you think, watch the intro, and see if that style like speaks to you. And then if you're interested, the code's good through the end of the month. So I know there's a ton of shopping about to happen in your lives right now. So yeah, so you can check it out. And that's just the PDF for the back, and then you're gonna get the neck and shoulders included with the back, and then there's different sections. It's all outlined in the PDF listing on my website. There's a lot of information there and some screenshots, pictures. I show a little bit. I have it right here in front of me. I have a miniature printing of it, but I can't get my camera to point down well, I guess I could take my face cam, but I can't switch between my camera right now on my Zoom. It just
That's
goes
because you're
blank.
with me, Saremy. That's what happens. If you
I,
weren't with me, you would have everything working perfectly.
I know, like I did a Zoom like literally like last night, no Wednesday night, and yeah, I just flip between my cameras. I have 5 cameras set up, and I can just flip between them in Zoom, but not right now, not while we're live. So, but anyway, yeah.
What was I going to say? Oh, Amy says, one of the best things about both your channels is seeing how you handle things that go wrong. See, that's my specialty.
Yeah, yeah, me too.
Handling things that go wrong.
Everybody
Of
uses your
course.
show. Everybody
Oh.
has problems.
And Diane says Saramy's channel is awesome. So there, it's
Thanks, Diane.
awesome.
Someone of mine said the stream would shut down if you couldn't find your seam ripper. it's true. I would just stop everything and be like, "Where's the seam ripper?" I have a backup in a brand new package right on my cart there. Like, we're not losing seam rippers.
See that black thing behind me over there? That was the best thing. One of my friends gave me that.
It's like a pocket organizer.
Yes, and I have all of my little things. So there is a seam ripper in there. So like if I can't find one of the 10 on my table, I have backups now. And I know I can always go find anything I need in there if I need it, if I can't find it here, which that has saved me so many times because I usually waste a good 20 minutes in my day throughout the day looking for stuff. So all my little stuff is in that thing now. I'm very happy about my little...
Can you imagine if we could just have a necklace with the seam ripper hanging from it?
Yes.
I would buy that in a heartbeat. I don't care if it would poke me at all. I don't want scissors hanging from my neck. I want a seam ripper. Or my awl. My awl is also my beloved
Yes,
tool.
yes, that's an important one.
Yeah. Someone said, we do love watching y'all mess up or struggle. It makes us feel not so alone in sewing. Yeah. Oh, it says James, seam rippers. I'm a dissenter. I use a round point, small darning needle and tweezers. Oh, yeah. I do that too sometimes. I use my awl. I actually pick them out. So there is a necklace with a seam ripper. It's so cute. It has a cap. Oh, it has a cap, and so it's functional. It comes in rose gold, silver, and gold. Well, I know.
There you go, Saremy.
Thank
Maybe
you,
that
Jack.
needs to be. I've been doing in my cool tools. I've been doing holiday gift ideas.
Yes.
That and I do have a different kind of seam ripper coming up next week. I'm not going to say what it is yet, but just as a little promo for this week, Cool Tools on Monday, you'll have a chance to win. What I think one of the ultimate stocking stuffers for sewers on your list. 2 chances to win, so check that out on Monday. I'm not going to tell you what it is right now, but I'm super excited about that, and I've already shot it because I'm spending the weekend deep dive cleaning my house for company and finishing my ceiling. That's what I'm doing.
Everybody is.
Yeah.
We're hosting too. I totally forgot. Yeah. Yeah. Someone says there's a necklace with sewing tools on it. It's called Chatterlane. It's like a charm bracelet, and you buy the tools separately. It's very artsy and spendy, but beautiful.
Oh, I'm going to have to look for those. That would be a cool gift.
That would be. Oh, Chatelaine. Chatelaine. Okay. Like Chate Lane or something. Chatelaine. That's cool.
Having my seam ripper right on my body would be a good thing. As long as I didn't stab myself, because...
Yeah. Well, I know. Miss Savvy says that one has a cap.
Caps are good. Oh, yeah. Amy says Chatelaine. She's confirming that's what it is.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool. I would probably be wearing that 24/7.
Yep.
Like you could open a bag of, chips with it.
You know what? I've been looking for gifts for my husband, and I saw this thing on Instagram, and basically what it is it's a belt, and then it has like a magnet thing, and he's slapping his hammer on there. He's slapping his tape measure, his little thing. So I was thinking, like maybe we could slap our seam rippers on there. I was just thinking because it seemed like it was really a strong thing. I haven't ordered it for him yet. I don't know. I'm trying to decide maybe for my dad or my husband.
That's dangerous, Jen. Can you imagine you're walking by like your work table and you just like clunk, or every nail in the sock on your hip? I don't know.
I didn't quite.
Look some reviews.
I know. Well, I registered, so I'll get first alert of their Black Friday sale. So I'll go check it out and see how it actually works. I thought it was kind of funny, and he was literally slapped the hammer on there and it stayed, and then he showed all the things he could stick to it, and it just like was on his hip, on his belt, on a hip thing. I thought that was kind of cool.
That was great.
Oh, you got to be careful of magnets in your phone, Mary says. That's true.
You actually don't.
You don't?
Nope, you don't. I looked into it, and someone dispelled that whole thing because I was worried about it too for a while, and apparently it's not the case. I don't know, but I can't tell you. I mean, don't take my advice, please.
Saremy says you don't.
I hope you know something, but don't talk to. Yeah.
Well, I always wreck I traveled 3 states in 5 weeks the past, month and a half or so, and I always had to watch my room key with my phone because I would kill my room key if it was near my phone. So that is bad. But and phones and I think recorders, or like my husband always
magnetic
said.
Tape.
Yeah, my husband always says, like, if you have if you're recording footage and stuff, don't get your phone near whatever you're recording because that could screw up the recording.
I mean, caution's always great, right? Like my hard drive, I'm always like, is my hard drive next to anything? I don't,
Yeah, no, I know.
So yeah. Look at the chat there.
Lazarus is laughing. Ha 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 ha. I love that.
Bad notion comes from old computers. Oh, with magnetic hard drives, and you couldn't put magnets near your systems. Phones and laptops and all kinds of things are not affected by magnets anymore in 2023. So.
Yeah. Well, it's good if we have less to worry about. I don't know. It seems like there's still a lot of things.
I used to make a product that had magnets, and it was like this little pattern holder, and so you could fold it up flat, like kind of like a brochure. Mm-hmm. But then you could turn it inside out, and it'd make like a little triangle, so you could have instructions and read. It would just sit there like a little. I can't describe it. It's called pattern holder, and I used magnets to hold it. And they were these little tiny guys. I still have like a couple. This is actually 2. They're so small. But apparently these neodymium, if you have like a car full of these and you're driving through stoplights, you can flip stoplights with them.
Oh.
That was like a crazy little tip. You would also not want to do that because people with pacemakers around you might have a bad day. So. Oh dear. Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking of all my So Tights I have in this room.
Oh, yeah.
And actually, if anyone is a So Tight lover, So Tights are having their Black Friday sale today. 15% off all of the little So Tights. So see, these are the ones I'm talking about, like the ones that look like, like this one. So it's a little, they're like this. So you've got your 2 pieces. These are amazing. I use these all the time. So they're 15% off. And then if you use coupon code JStern Designs, you get an additional 15% off. So good time to get So Tights. It doesn't include their new cutting system and the pre-order for their So Tight metal organizer easel thing, but they are having their sale today for their advanced Black Friday. So again, if anyone wants So Tights, which I love, 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 and I'm going to be designing a carrier for them because you can see this is annoying that I use the brochure and then it all gets stuck together, but at least I don't lose them.
Yeah, exactly. I know I'm looking around my camera to look at it, that's why I keep bobbing and weaving here.
Oh.
So, what dress forms are you using these days? I feel like I saw you use like a smaller one the other day for a demo or something.
You know what? This is so silly. This one right here.
I got the brand when she said that, you guys.
All right, this was from French European many years ago at the Novi Sewing Expo, and literally I got this thing. And I never used it. It literally sat on my back shelf. And then I realized I could make a set of minis, right? So this is a mini bodice. And then I can show things. Like I showed the difference, but how to rotate a dart and then how to rotate a bust dart into French curved darts.
Yeah.
So it's a very cool. So you'll be seeing a lot more of this little lady later. I realized you can try things and not waste a ton of fabric versus trying it on a full size. So I am using my mini dress form a lot more than I used to.
Yeah, I've been doing mine too. Mine's like right there.
Oh, that might be even a better size because it's a
It's
little
a
bit like a
it's a
half
half
scale.
scale of
Yeah.
my dress form.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
that's
going.
cool.
But
Oh, that's cool.
and I put it on I put it on a Lazy Susan
Oh, I love that idea. That's really
from the
now.
hardware store.
How did you get a half scale of your dress form?
So this is a Beatrice form,
Hmm.
and when I got it, it came with it, and they said this is an experiment we're doing. We'd love to hear what you guys think. Do you like having the half scale? Blah blah blah. And personally, I don't like half scale dress forms. I've seen a lot of fashion programs only use half scale forms. It's fine for like experiments and things like that, but as far as the like accuracy, if you're scaling up for
Hmm.
a person, very easy to get out of whack
Yep.
because remember an eighth of an inch is a quarter of an inch on that thing. And so you can really get things wonky quickly.
Hmm.
But it is a really fun way to experiment. And just like what you said, I love that the whole pattern fits under my camera right here.
Yep.
And you can see the whole thing. I can do the demo. And
Yep.
but like keeping the change within a normal realm of what you would really be doing in life size. I've been having, like, I did a full size back shoulder dart on one of them the other day, and I didn't even realize it till later. And I was like, oh yeah, this dart would be 1.5 inches long, not 3 inches long. That's
Yep.
so tiny.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
and it's not like it's like incorrect to show that, but it just is in scale terms, it is kind of weird. So I really didn't use her until like the last like year, and lately with Fitopedia, I'm loving having her. So, oh, someone wants to know what the code was for your So Tights.
Oh, J Stern Designs, all one
Just
word.
J Stern Design, Sarah.
Yep. Just put
They have a
that.
thread going in the guild of all the sales happening, so they keep adding to
Oh,
this one thread. So they're going to put
this is
the
only
So Tights.
today. Well, you can use my coupon code anytime, but if you use
Okay.
it today, you get 15% off from them as well, which is really nice.
Okay. So that did you guys catch that, Sarah? So the Black Friday sales today, and you would get an additional percentage off with Jen's code, but you can use Jen's code for 15% off anytime,
Anytime.
right?
And
Anytime.
you can get 15% off anything. The
Yeah.
cutting system, any of
Oh,
their
that's great.
products. Yeah. Yep.
Oh, okay, cool, cool, cool. I like that.
Um,
Fashion pros are
I
so
wish I
fun.
had a half scale of my ditto form.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Do they not do that?
you know what that would be good for? Seeing if it looks good on your shape, right? Like if I
Hmm.
could make little versions like this, I can use for fitting things and to show adjustments. But you can see this is not my shape. Look at how tiny.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
and I'm not going to pad the, I'm not going to take the time to
No.
pad it. But like if I had like my ditto form with all of my curves and bumps in a half scale, I think that would be useful just for style, and
Yeah.
to see how things are going to work with that shape without wasting full size
Yeah.
fabric.
Yeah, someone just said that in my chat and said I like it more for just design ideas.
Yeah.
And it is really fun. It's great for experiments too,
Yeah. Yeah.
It's less sewing and stuff. As opposed to using like a kids form, because kids proportions are really weird. They are born with their heads almost fully formed, like
Yeah.
size
Yeah.
wise. Like the percentage their head grows in relation to their body is a lot less.
Yeah.
Their necks are really, they don't even have a neck when they're born. So yeah, there's
Yeah.
that. They're just all head. So yeah, you can't really use a children's form to
Right.
even get close to it. I saw Beatrice now is doing pant forms, like they're doing full body forms.
Oh.
So I have a half pant form, I have a full pant form, I have the mini, and I have the big one. And I'm like, I just want one form to rule them all, like Lord of the Rings right now. I'm like, can I get rid of all? I'll keep the mini, but I'm like, because I did the pant ones, I did the bootstrap custom thing, which is actually pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then the half one is just like literally for demonstrations. I wouldn't use it to like for myself. So
Well, I found in one of my local fabric stores, one of the people who worked there participated in the Connecticut Fashion Week, and she showed me all the things she made. She's so talented. And then she was saying, "Oh, I wish I had a bigger dress form. My dress form's a size 4." I'm like, "I've got a dress form for you." So, and I'm really annoyed with myself because I drive right by there to visit my parents every Tuesday and Thursday, and I forgot this week. I'm going to make sure I load up my size 16 that I have from when I worked at Gibbs College in the fashion department. I'm going to gift her that because I have five full-size dress forms in this room, and I won the French
Like
European.
having bodies in
Yeah,
here.
like I don't need all of that. So I have to keep my first one because my friend Eric gave it to me. It's a size 12. And I have to keep that because it's special to me. But then I won the French European, so I've got that. And then I have my ditto form. And then I have a vintage wolf, which is just vintage wolf, so I have to keep.
Whoa,
That's
it's a wolf form.
that's falling apart. I might have to see if I can restore it a little bit. But I don't need the size 18 French European and the size 16 other one. So I'm going to give her that, and she was so happy. So I'm bringing it on Tuesday.
Ooh,
Yeah.
man. You're gonna have to throw a going away party for your.
I
It's
know.
like having people. I had to put my full size pant form in the next room. I'm like, I just can't look at this in here all the time. It's just weird.
I want a pants form. I would love a pants form. Maybe I should go get the bootstrap one and try it.
$17.
I'm going to try it.
And
It was was it pretty accurate?
I think it's pretty good. And the reason I brought up dress forms in particular, because I just wanted to kind of talk to the chat a little bit about it, because fitting yourself is so hard. And I know not everybody can have a dress form. And so I was kind of curious, like, how are you guys surviving? Like, how are you doing this? I have to, just so you know, the dress form doesn't take place of me fitting myself. Like, mainly because I've changed a little bit, and I just want to make sure, like, it's never. In fact, my dress room's smaller than me, but getting things on and off her is pretty hard because she doesn't have a collapsible shoulder. So it is kind of hard. But I did like the bootstrap experience. You just need to pay attention when you're stuffing it, that you're sort of looking at yourself and kind of, because, literally you could create bumps where there's no bumps with stuffing, But yeah, I thought it was not that hard, honestly. I thought it was a really, do your measurements well.
Yep.
Start off well.
Yep.
But yeah, I feel like that was a really affordable thing. And then figuring out how to hang it or mount it so you can use it, that's the other struggle. I use not PVC, metal pipe. I use like threaded metal pipe from the hardware store. And if anyone needs a stand, just tell me, I'll show you my schematic for that. But that was for a pant form that has to hang, and dress forms are a lot easier. You can just buy a stand for a dress form.
Right.
Or make something. But yeah, I think it's great. Yeah, people are in chat, and there's a couple people saying, "Oh, I got that."
I used one of the bootstrap custom patterns in my Threads pants class for my daughter Anna, and it was a good start. So I thought that was kind of cool. So
I feel like for the back, seeing the back of you is the key for me. I really like being able to third person it, like I'm gonna end this and see, and then I can try it on. I think that is nice, but it's really hard to, and they take up a lot of space. Like someone said, they're trying to downsize to be in a 13-foot camper. Yeah, like you don't want an extra body in there taking up valuable space.
I think a 2-mirror setup is also another good way to do it. Like when I started using 2 mirrors set up in a way where I could see my front without twisting, and also see my back, that was a huge help, having the 2 mirrors. That was game changer.
I use my video on my phone to do that now.
Yeah.
I don't have the space for the mirrors. I bought all these mirrors to make a 3-way, like when you go in a dressing room. I thought, I'm so clever, I'm going to make myself a 3-way mirror. Let me tell you, folks, it is not as easy as it sounds. I had all the space in the world, and I could not get that thing. So I was like, okay, this is just getting dangerous. I'm handling all these pieces of glass and trying to get them. No. Just my phone video, that I just do that now. It works good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Videotaping yourself is a good idea, too.
Yeah, because you can kind of scrub through it, and I just I put it on my sewing machine, so it's kind of, because it's usually pants that I need to do this for, and so it's like eye level. That's what I recommend, always putting it eye level, so either at my ironing board or in front of my machine. I just take a little video.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I just hope I delete them all before I die. I don't want to Because they're so awkward. That's the only thing. Maybe I can do without my fella to make room. You're trading your fella for your dress form, Julie? I don't know about that. Yes, we do. We need more sewing friends locally so we can trade stuff. Having a fitting buddy is just so nice.
It is nice.
know?
Relying on your husband sometimes is not the best plan.
No, sometimes it works against you.
He's quick to
Yeah.
tell me what he thinks he sees back there, but other than that, I have to get my 2 mirrors going.
We need that robot arm that Howard made in Big Bang Theory to make for pin things. Like,
Yes.
can you just pin my, thank you, pin my back? Yeah. Can you, oh, yeah, there, right there, pin right there. Exactly. That's what I want.
I love Big Bang. Oh my God.
Yes, that's so good. Oh, someone said, hubby stuck me so bad, like with a pin once. I don't let him pin me ever.
Well, my hubby used to video for me until I caught him on his phone, like looking at Amazon or something when he was supposed to be shooting what I was doing. I'm like, all right, you're fired. I'm like, I'm all done. Oh my goodness. So now I do it myself, but that was kind of funny. But I mean, obviously, is it riveting for him to watch me for 4 hours, sewing something? Probably not. So I kind of get that, I guess.
I can't imagine. Yeah. When my husband's in the chat, I'm like, oh no, the dog swallowed something. Why is
Yeah.
he here? You know?
He'll get on the chat to you. You can say, turn up your thing, or stop banging on the table and making it shake. Those are the things if he's watching me,
That's hilarious.
he'll tell me.
You try it.
Yeah.
Oh, your husband made you a trifold mirror from cheap Walmart. Yeah, these are cheap Walmart mirrors. It works pretty good. I mean, that's what I needed to do, is attach them to each other and make it. I don't know. Handling those mirrors was just, they're like, whoa, whoa, whoa,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I lucked out. This room is the master bedroom in my house. My husband and I sleep in the finished basement where it's always nice and cool. So I have a mirror embedded into the outside of my closet. And then when Gap was changing their aesthetic in the store, I snagged one of their floor full-length mirrors, and it's double-sided. And it's on a huge casters. So it does have like a 2-foot footprint. I mean, it's big, but I can roll it and I can angle it any way I need for the stationary mirror and my back, against the door on the closet. So I did luck out with that.
That is a great way to get lots of things. Like, that's how I've gotten thread, is when people are going out of business or changing things like that.
These right here, you can't see anymore. They used to say Giorgio Armani. They were a sunglass display for a jewelry store that was going out of business. And if I had known what great pattern weights these made, I would have taken them all, but I felt silly. I took 3. So I have a small, this is a big one, I have a medium one and a small, I have 3 sizes lengthwise.
Yeah, that's great.
They're very good for pattern weights, but again, I didn't realize it at the time. Yeah. But again, another free thing I got from a jewelry store closing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Reconfiguration.
I know. Porta is literally listening to us while she's trying to assess a jean muslin. That's really good multitasking, Porta. Oh, and Sherry likes the Big Bang too. Like, I'll watch it from start to finish again. Give me a few, like, maybe next year. I'll watch it, the whole thing again. I love Big Bang.
I own the whole series.
Let's see.
Yeah, it's good. This is awesome, but you need less stuff. Yeah, we're not trying to get you to shop for anything.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, you got to be creative sometimes with things. I use old irons for weights.
Oh yeah, and my Hydro Flask, because it doesn't sweat, because it's the double encased bottles make good pattern weights too, because they don't get damp.
Yeah, well, and you need to drink water sometimes.
That's right.
You guys have any fitting questions or anything? I mean, I'm not going to fit your jeans right now, but does anyone use that tiny iron that looks like a mouse? That tiny, like an actual hot iron, and it looks like a mouse.
I don't have one that tiny. I have the Oliso mini project iron, which is very cute.
Your phone and your scissors are your current pattern weight. The phone's actually not bad pattern weight sometimes.
Oh, but I can't get it right now. Hold on a minute.
Because I have a miniature iron that someone gave me. I didn't really want it. And it has come in handy before when I've ironed the inside of something near vinyl that I didn't like it or anything.
All right, so I'm embarrassed to say how this cord is wrapped around the base of my dress form over here. But it's a little mini iron. Oh. And it has a full-size plug. Look at the plug. It's full size, see?
Oh, yeah.
But look how cute it is.
Oh, is this the one you're talking about? This is cute.
Oliso mini project iron.
Yeah.
They're actually coming out with a new version, which I will be getting my hands on at some point. So I love my Oliso irons, but this is really cool for when you just want something small, and it has steam.
Oh, that is cool.
Yeah, and it comes.
Those are the little travel irons, right? That quilters take to classes and things. Right?
Yeah, and it has a sole plate that attaches. I mean, it has a silicone sole plate that it fits here, and you could hang it up. So it wouldn't be tangled on the base of your dress form if you didn't have it on over there. If it was hanging up, see, that would be.
Wait, what is someone asking? Wait, did you decide not to do Sew Expo? Can I ask you that right now? Or
you can ask me. No, I'm not.
I'm sorry. I put you on the spot.
Well, actually, I was going to tell you, and then I forgot. So this could be, anyone could hear it here first. The weekend of Sew Expo, what I'm going to do is I am going to be scheduling an in-depth pants fitting workshop at the Hampton Inn next to Joanne Fabrics in Manchester. Also an artisanal burger place right next door. It's going to be, I'm only going to accept 10 students. So you can come to me the same weekend of Sew Expo if you don't want to go to Sew Expo.
Forget it. I want to come to that. I'm not
So that's what I'm going to do instead, because I'm not going to do Sew Expo. So.
Okay. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I am teaching there, and I'm teaching Wednesday through Saturday. Just so you guys know, if you wanted to book your hotels there. So.
Yes, book it from Wednesday to Saturday when you can take Saramy's classes.
Yeah, right.
I'm excited that Saremy is going to be there, and I'm kind of annoyed that I'm not going to be there now because
you are. I'm really annoyed because you inspired me to.
I know, but Saremy and I are going to get together at some point and meet in person. We haven't yet, but
we should organize a retreat.
We should.
I don't know why I just said that out loud because I don't know why I said that out loud, but
I think that's a great idea, though. I think that's a great idea. So
that'd be really fun.
We'll get together.
What are you guys talking about here? The Oliso? They can't put a link in chat. Terry can put a link in chat. What are you looking for, Miss Savvy? A link for the Oliso
iron.
Name of the iron she's talking about.
It's OLISO, Oliso. And I also have the fabulous TG 1600 Pro.
And that's like the full size one, right?
It has little feet, so when you put it down, the feet pop down, so you can't. It's got
there you go.
Yeah, the little feet pop down. Yeah, I love this iron. Love it.
Okay, I had fitting questions. I've got a thing for raglans right now. Saw a blog in which someone substituted a drop sleeve pattern for a raglan on a coat, and I was going. And it was horror emoji that you don't like. Is that a question, Jane, or are you just commenting on it? Substituting a drop sleeve for a raglan isn't like you can do that, but that's pretty involved.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah. Like, why not just start? I would start with a set-in and change that to a drop before I would do a raglan to a drop.
Yes.
And then someone asked me what is my current timeline for the rest of Fitopedia? Well, Susan. I really wish I would have not started this in the fall because I feel like it's not the best time for everybody to focus on something like this. I'm just going to keep working at it. And so neck and shoulders will be done I'm just probably going to relax the timeline then for that because I feel like everyone's really busy. Ideally, I wanted Fitopedia done by the end of February. I don't think that's going to happen. I'm just going to be really honest with you. Just because I have a lot of other things that I have to maintain along the way.
That's the struggle. That's the
It is,
struggle.
yeah, because we have to do these other things to pay for the bills so we can do the other things.
Yep.
So that's the kind of that, but I am prioritizing it, which means you've probably been seeing less live streams from me. So I think it's going to happen faster than I think it will, but I'm giving you a non-answer. I'm sorry. I am very honest about that.
Well,
I
and
don't
that's
know.
okay. That's okay. It's better to say that than, yes, it's all going to be done by such and such.
Let's say it's going to be done by May next year. I'm not one of those people that can make things take a long time. I'm pretty much like when I'm in, I'm all in. It's just really that I, have other things that will not give me the space to work on it. That's all. So, all right, what's this other? Saremy, will you be sewing your bag pattern that would make a great knitting bag? Your present name is large. I am making at Sew Expo. I am teaching 3 bag classes and 1 class on seam finishes because that's fine. You're wondering 12 months or 12 years. No, I am a all-in person, Susan.
Amy
So
says, Amy says, looking forward to Pantsopedia. And then Mary said that Joanne Fabrics is in chapter 11 and they're losing it. And then Leah said, "Oh no, didn't hear that." So I've heard rumors of that too. I don't know.
And yeah, Joanne's is struggling right now, which is a real shame.
Yeah.
Let me tell her real quick the patterns I'm doing. So I'm doing my names are terrible. I know that they're so generic, but I'm doing my project bag, the chicken boots project bag. I'm doing the heck was that one? Oh, I'm doing the notions case, and you can make 3 of them in my class. And then the other one those 2 patterns are already on my website. But the one that isn't on my website from the chicken boots days is the double double, and it's probably one of my most requested. So I'll have to still formalize that pattern. But yeah, so it's those 3. The double double's the clear final bottom half fabric, top half, and then the project bag is the one that stands up with the stiffener. That's a Wednesday class, so it's like the big meaty 4-hour long class. And the notions case is you're gonna be able to make 3 if you want to make 3. I'm gonna it's gonna be like a salad bar for the kit. You're gonna be able to pick the fabrics you want to put with your thing. So
That's very cool. And when are you doing that?
That's Sew Expo.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm going to be missing that. That is so cool. I'm so excited for you.
Yeah, it'll be fun. I mean, I feel a little bit like I wish I was going there under the context of clothing making, but it's unless you're making leggings there or a tank top, there's really not a whole lot you can do in a 2.5-hour window with machines you've never used and people you've never met.
That's the other reason why I'm not teaching there this year, because I taught 2 4-hour classes the first day when like the pre-show day, and they do 4-hour classes, but then the rest of the week they're short, and my classes are geared for at least 3 hours. That was the other thing I was having trouble with there.
Yeah, so I'm doing bag making because I used to have a bag business that was really awesome. And I had to close really abruptly because of the fire that was near me. And so I made some of those patterns into home sewing patterns that I sell. And so that's why I'm just trying to stick to things I know really, really well because I sewed production on those. That's why.
That's smart though. That's smart.
Yeah, it's an experiment going to Sew Expo. So you're going to, okay. Yeah. And I think, there's one person in my chat that's been to like 25 or 30 years of Sew Expo. So
yeah,
she's a veteran.
I mean, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it being there. I thought it was a really nice venue. I enjoyed the classes. I enjoyed everyone that was there. I had a good time. It was, for me in Connecticut, it's a long hop.
Yeah.
For what it ended up happening for me. So that's why.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be a draw financially. Just because we have to stay so long. We have to fly there and stuff. I already booked a cute little place and I can walk.
Oh,
It's great.
nice.
As long
Yeah.
as the weather's good. All right, so here's the question. It is a question about drop sleeve versus raglan. Surely the drape is totally different. Raglan tends to push the fullness to the center, drop sleeve to the sides. All right. Well,
It
the
depends.
way I think of, are you thinking drop sleeve as in cut on or drop as in like actually the drop? Yeah, raglan to drop. I mean,
But let me just interject here. Depending on how the raglan is drafted, it could be just as the same as a drop because you can draft a raglan sleeve straight or at angles going down, and
yep.
the farther down you go, the more fitted it's going to be. But if you draft it straight out, it's going to feel like a drop shoulder. It's going to have a lot of you know what I mean? It's going to be,
It's gonna be tight. It'll be tight across
well,
the
it'd have to be
ball.
loose, and so it's going to feel like a drop
Yeah.
shoulder if it's drafted like this. So it depends on how it was drafted for a raglan, I think. I'm sorry, I
Yeah.
didn't mean to butt in there.
No, no, not that's true. I think the best fitting raglan is one with a center seam or a dart at the shoulder. And I don't know why, but I don't ever see in home sewing, especially indie patterns, that they draft a raglan properly. I don't want to say properly as in they're doing it wrong. I just mean like they're not really giving you the shaping you need to make a raglan comfortable and functional. Raglans were created to put the seams here so that, like, if you're wearing a backpack or a bag, you're not getting the abrasion of a shoulder seam, right? And it also, you can make them more articulated for athletic use, which is something I specialized in. I've definitely used raglans and created like crazy patterns using them for like sea kayaking. So the garment fit perfect when it was in this position when they're holding a paddle, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but in a lot of like home sewing ones, all you see is it's really tight, all the wrinkles pointing right here at your shoulder because there's no slope in the shoulder and no ease. And if they were to add the ease there, your neck would gape. It would like up like this above you, right? That's why you need like a dart or something. So to change to a drop shoulder, the drop shoulder could end up being more comfortable, to be honest. It'll fit better over a bulky sweater, maybe. That's maybe what they're thinking of why they did that. So I don't know. Without seeing it, it's kind of hard to tell. I'm not a fan of either of those armholes.
Oh, see, raglan's my favorite. I love my raglans.
Really? That's awesome.
Oh.
Yeah.
But see, this is my knit pattern. If I were to make a woven one, it would definitely either have a two-piece sleeve or a dart because you can't.
Yeah, no, that looks amazing.
You can't, but because it's knit though, like on a woven, you definitely need some shaping because it would.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I love the look of raglan. Like, I literally recreated a shirt last year because my mom's Instagram picture. She's wearing this little like navy blue and white raglan, and I don't know why. There's something about the shirt that looks so cute on her, and I was like, I'm gonna recreate that for me. But so yeah, I get it. And like my favorite. Like you guys, I imagine all of you who are sewing, do you have like sentimental garments in your life? Because I think because I've been involved with this for so long, and that's probably one of the reasons I'm into doing this. I have a lot of sentimental garments in my life, and even though I don't own them still, one of my all-time favorites is when I was 9 years old. I had this like a baseball jersey raglan, like it was light blue sleeves, the white front and back, and it had a decal on the chest of Popeye saying "I am what I am."
Oh, I love that.
Like this metallic, like you can if it folded against itself, it would stick to itself. You know, I loved that shirt. It was certainly one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah.
But
When I was in high school, remember the store The Limited?
oh yeah.
Okay, so I had to have, and it was like white broadcloth. Picture just crisp white woven fabric. It had a probably 3-inch straight waistband, and then it had a circle skirt. And I had to have that thing. I had to save my money to buy that because my mother looked at that and thought, yeah, no. So I finally saved up
after one day.
Well, and I think back to myself now, and I'm like, what about that was even attractive? But I loved that thing when I had it when I was in high school. So.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No, I can think of lots of different things like that. And it's weird how I feel like when a garment pops into my head that I haven't thought about in 20 years, I feel so guilty that I haven't made a skirt.
I
Like it's
know.
like a pet I lost or
Yep,
something. I'm
yep.
like, how have I forgotten that turtleneck? That turtleneck meant so much to me. You
Oh
know?
my God.
So yeah, it is it's such an interesting thing. I'm not a very sentimental person and I don't keep things either. So hence
No.
I don't really have a lot of these garments. But yeah. All right. Okay, she has another quote question. Okay, really interesting here, extended raglan discussion. Quote question. The 50s original they were trying to replicate had generous, long raglan shoulder seams and a really fluid drape front and back. Oh, that sounds like a lovely coat. Well, what's the question, though? I'm wait, it says coat question. The 50s, they were generous, long raglan shoulder seams. That sounds lovely.
Diane said that my raglan sleeve pattern has never failed her.
That's awesome.
Thank you, Diane. All right, we're going to put a
Well,
timer on this for 5:30 my time because I printed out a half-baked harvest recipe I want to make. And if anybody is looking for something really fun to watch, I think it's on HBO or Amazon. They did a new series on Julia Childs, and it's excellent. So I want to watch the second half of that
oh.
tonight, and I want to make these cocoa van meatballs that are quick in the pressure cooker as a theme for
Yeah.
for that show. So I have to go
You
to
know,
the.
you were reminding me, I saw there's a new show coming out on Sunday, and I think it's called The Way We Wore.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, I know. I follow this. I like stop motion animation, and this guy got recommended to me that does like a picture record player and an animation
Mm-hmm.
and on the spinning. You know how like
Mm-hmm.
old
Yeah, yeah,
fashioned.
yeah.
Okay, so he did something for the opening sequence for this show.
Oh,
That's
that
how I
sounds
figured out about
cool.
it. So it's called The Way We Wore, and I think it's Australia. It's in Australia, so I'm not sure about that.
It's like a fashion show.
Yeah, it's all about history of fashion.
Oh, that would be
So
cool.
it's kind of interesting, and it's very body positive. It sounds like it's coming from a body positive
Oh, I'm gonna have to
standpoint.
look for that.
Yeah. So, questions of how differently it would affect the drape for the raglan versus the. I I really would need to see the two coats, Jane, or the thing. It definitely is different. A raglan versus a drop shoulder is very different.
Hmm.
Absolutely. But I don't think it's negative or positive either way.
Oh,
I think it's just going to be different.
Amy's
So,
verifying that the Julia Childs show is on HBO.
yeah, so does Leah. It's called Julia.
Julia, it's very
Yeah.
good. It's very, and actually, I couldn't stay up. I we watched like 3 episodes, and I told my husband I had to go to bed. I think he loved it so much he finished it without me. He cheated on me. So I'm gonna make him watch it
Oh,
again because that's what I'm doing
oh.
later.
He's fired again.
He's like, no. Oh.
The other interesting thing, and then we can wrap it up, unless you guys have more. Poor Jane's like, I do have a fitting question. I want to talk fitting, and I'm sorry, I'm not being very helpful, Jane. I'm sorry. I would, if you show me some pictures, though, I could really maybe weigh in better on it. But I saw this gal on Instagram, Handmade PhD. I bet some of you follow her. She did a blog post today. I don't read blog posts, but this title was interesting, where she orders heat transfers. So I used to own a heat transfer machine when I had my business, and
Mm-hmm.
like the big machines where you go
Mm-hmm.
like this, and you like put the
Mm-hmm.
graphics on tees and stuff. We did it for bags, and she orders those as labels for her garments. See, now
Oh.
I have printed labels before with my printer, and that works amazing. The June Taylor inkjet fabric sheets work amazing.
Mm-hmm.
You are kind of like subject to how well your printer prints, but the paper sheets go through there really well, and you peel the paper off the back, and then it's fabric. You can sew with it, you can wash it, you can buy the iron-on version or not. But she's talking about heat transfer thing, and I'm gonna give that a shot. I'm gonna check it out because I think my current iron is hot enough. It says 300 degrees, but if you're just doing a little tiny label, I bet you can get a home iron to work.
Yep.
And it's like washable and it feels smooth to the garment. So if you're one of those people that tags bug,
Mm-hmm.
and you could literally print a sheet out of all different ones you want and
Oh,
have that printed for $5.
that's
Like
cool.
$5. It's like a 12-inch by 22-inch I'm going to talk all about it, Terry. Don't worry. I'll remind you later about it. Handmade PhD is the Instagram account where I saw the blog.
I love her. She's
awesome.
Yeah, she's excellent.
She's really fun. Like, she does really amazing comparisons on computer models of pants. And so if you kind of want to nerd out on how things go, I feel like that's not 100% way to judge something, but it is so fascinating for a pattern nerd like me. I really love some of the things she does. But anyway, check out her blog post. It's not a long blog post or anything, and she has a link to the transfer thing she uses. But I'm like, ooh,
that's a cool idea.
Or something. Yeah, I love the idea. Like, you can make a whole sheet, so you could do, like, I don't know, oh, these are like 10 for you're making it for someone, and you're made for Jen, or something like that. Made for hubby, whatever. Or you could even say, oh, ginger jeans, like you could literally plan out your
that's cool.
So anyway, just thought I'd mention that because I'm kind of like, oh, something cool to play with and Procreate to design.
Yeah.
I love doing that. So.
I just want to say one more thing about Julia. Amy said it's the second season of Julia. Season 1 was good too. So if I started watching the wrong season, I'm going to go figure that out now. Like, I didn't realize there was a season 1.
Well, you still liked it.
Oh, I liked it, but if I did watch season 2 by accident, I'll go back and watch season 1 after.
Yeah, it'll still be new to you.
That's right. It'll still be new. Yeah. It'll just be out of order.
And then you'll watch season 2 with a whole other perspective.
That's right.
This is good. At least we come up with a positive thing for anything. Yeah.
That's right.
I think The Crown is coming out again.
It's out. The first half of it is out. I'm gonna wait. Because I know it's gonna happen. I'm gonna wait.
Good costumes in that.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. Well, this is your party.
This was super fun, Saremy. Don't worry. Saremy will be back. We'll be doing this again. We love Saremy. So I want to thank everybody for watching. This was really, really fun. And next time, I promise we'll have all our bugs worked out before we get on.
We're not making that promise. Don't listen to us.
I'm going to try. I'm going to try to make...
We did think we had the bugs.
We
did practice recordings.
We got on early to be good, and we still fussed it up. So, but I always strive to do better the next time. But we'll see.
We'll do it. Maybe next time we'll go live privately and test it out.
That's what we should have done.
Do that.
Yes.
Yeah, we can just do that, and then. But we're not making any promises, you guys.
No. Well, with Trisha's, I put it for the wrong time or something, or I started it right, so people started commenting, and then I shut it off, and then I thought, oh, I could just start it up again, but you can't. So I screwed hers up too. So see, I'm the queen of boo-boos.
Was she live on her channel? I didn't watch.
No.
I didn't chime in.
No. It was just that she's
on yours.
She's getting her OBS revved up, and she wasn't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
But see, yay, it was fun. But this was fun.
And you guys just check out the videos, see what you think.
Yeah, definitely go check out Fitopedia. It's not Fitopia, it's Fitopedia.
Yep, I like Fitopia though. But Fitopedia.
Fitopedia, yes. Check that out, because...
I can't remember what I was calling it originally. Something else, and I was like, I can't even say that, so we're not going to do that. So, anyway. All right, well, thanks for having me.
Oh, well, thank you for coming. This was super fun. Yay.
It was nice seeing you, Ben. And happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, happy Thanksgiving to everybody.
And Friendsgivings and whatever.
Yep.
And holiday shopping. I know you guys are all going to start shopping for fabric.
Woo! It's a lot. It's all times. Do all those things.
Exactly. All right. Well, thanks for having me.
Oh, well, thank you for coming.
See you guys soon. Okay, what do we do first? Do we leave the Zoom first, or we end the stream first?
All right, wait. Let's do it together. We'll count to 3.
Okay, all right.
Ready? 1.
I'm gonna go to my project. Okay, yeah.
2, 3. Bye.
Okay, there we go. I have like an end screen, and then I do stream ending.